Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Lucas, and this is Doing the Deal. And today, what we're going to be taking a look at is our 5x10 grow tent from Spider Farmer that we are growing vegetables in, and we're going to jump into and start our indoor vegetable gardening grow series. So before we jump into those things and what we got cooking, there are a couple things we need to get out there. One, the reason we grow. We do have a traditional garden box outside. We grow in the soil. We've always tried to grow in the soil. We've only been in our current location a little bit under a year. We're coming up on a year here in about, I don't know, a couple of weeks or so. So our garden out there is not quite what we're used to, not quite as established as we'd like, and we're getting it there. So we're growing down here to supplement our food that we grow outside. In addition to that, the outdoor growing season here where we live is not all that long. So we can use this space to supplement that time down here and to grow some of those things year round, as well as to start our seeds so that we can move them outside. Things we have that we're growing outside: cucumbers, squash, tomatoes, peppers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, the normal suspects. Now down in here to supplement that, we're growing some tomatoes. We're growing a couple of varieties, one a saucing variety that our intention is to can, and the other is, I think there might be two other ones in there. I'll have to take a look. The other one is a mini tomato, cherry tomato variety. In terms of the peppers, we have several different types of peppers in there. For some reason, none of our hot peppers took. So we have 3 different types of hot peppers in there. We've got a sweet pepper as well as a bell pepper. I like to make my own hot sauce, so our goal with the peppers is to ferment them and make some fermented hot sauce out of it. We also like to dry them. It makes a nice little spice rack thing as you mix them all together. In addition to that, we've got some spinach, some chard, some kale that we're all growing down here, and we are trying to get a bush bean. All of our seeds are from Johnny's Selected Seeds. I always use their seeds, always have. They've been very good for us. So those are the ones that I like to use. In terms of the stuff we have going on in here, most of it needs to be at the same pH for the water. As well as temperatures. There are a couple of outliers. The beans and the spinach are outliers in both of those. So we're just gonna kind of see and play out how that all goes. Some tools we're using: we've got a regular pH meter. We check our pH, we check our total dissolved solids, we check our EC. We are monitoring our lights, both our distance and our par. With a light meter. I'll put links to all the stuff we use down below. In addition to those things, I got a little laser pointer gun for temperature on the top of canopies and things of that nature, which are all pretty good. In terms of our growing environment, we are using a grow tent from Spider Farmer. It is a 5x10 by 6.5 grow tent. We have one inline 6-inch fan, which we can see right up here with a carbon filter. It is all piped up and then out of our house. At this moment in time, it is constantly running. It's about 50%, all right? The 2 lights we are running are both from Spider Farmer. This is an SE or SF 5000 or SE 5000. The other one's right over here, which is an SE or SF 4000, all right? If you're interested in the unboxing of those, the links for those videos will be in the description. You can find them in our grow room setup video. In terms of other equipment that we're running, our blower is a manual knob. I'll show you. Our light timer is one from Spider Farmer. It is a digital automatic smart timer. So we're running 16 hours on and 8 hours off at this moment in time. We've got a 30-minute fade in for a sunrise and a 30-minute fade out for a sunset. We've got a couple of fans in there, which I'll show you in a minute. We monitor all kinds of stuff We're tracking it all. I'll throw a little screenshot up here of all the things that we're monitoring and what our goals are for both pH, air temperature, humidity, and stuff like that. Let me see here. So without any further ado, let's flip it around. Let's go take a look at what we got going in the tent, go over all of our things, and take a look at the plants, which are just very mini seedlings at this point. One thing I forgot to mention before we take a look at the system, in terms of what we are growing in, we are using the Air Cube by Grow Ace. We have 12 sites within our tent, and we are using the 60, it comes with a 60-gallon reservoir. We did add a air pump and an air stone to our reservoir. And then in terms of nutrients, we just fed for the first time today. So being pretty novice at this, and based on price and overall availability and not knowing where to start, we jumped in with General Hydroponics. Their flower, their bloom, and their micro is where we're starting for in our vegetable tent. We figured it'd be a good baseline based on its general overall availability and things of this nature, all right? So those are a couple of things. So let's go back and let's take a look at how everything's rocking and rolling so far. All right, guys, here we are. We've got our 60-gallon reservoir. This is an additional 20-gallon pressurized RO reservoir water for our water that we're using. I'll throw our specs up in the corner here of what our beginning water information is in terms of the metrics that we are using. Here is the overall tent. We take a look. It's pretty good. I actually really like this one. All right, here's our Grow Cubes by Grow Ace. Right, most of the stuff is doing really, really well. I've had one pepper here that hasn't done anything, Bottle Rocket. You can see it kind of doing, but not too much. But overall, we can see a little white buildup. I need to get more Hydroton in here, but I'm waiting for our plants to get a little bit bigger. You can see we've got our 2 lights. We are running our lights at 50% dimness right now. We set our par level to be somewhere between 200 and 400. I think collectively on an average, we're sitting at around 350, 360 or so. We're looking at about somewhere between 24 and 28 inches for our lighting height. In terms of the blower, I've got it just running all the time to help with just airflow and air circulation. It also helps keep the humidity down. You can see right now we're at 77 degrees, 52% humidity over there. Our other sensor is here, which is connected to our light timer, which doesn't really work the best in terms of that. Let's unplug it, plug it back in. There we go, 77 and 52. Here is our manual for our blower. So yeah, at this point, we're monitoring it. We've got our fans. And we're just waiting. We fed our nutrients today using a general feeding schedule, as well as a little bit lower than that for this, what's recommended for seedlings and clones. But like I said, very interested to see what happens. Hopefully we can supplement what we grow outside and with what we grow down in here. All right, guys, I know it's not the most exciting of things in the tent at this moment in time, but you got to start somewhere, and it's with little itty bitty plants, and that's what we got cooking. In terms of some of those tools, we've got a very generic water meter that we're using. Here is that little light deal. To set our lights, I use a tape measure and a app on the phone called Photone that I paid for the full spectrum LED, grow light LED deal. And so that's what we're using to measure our par. We'll see how it all goes. We're gonna monitor all kinds of stuff. And we're going to take a look at it on a week-by-week basis and kind of go from there and see what happens. So, like always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concern, advice, they're always welcome. Please post them down below. If you liked our little deal we had cooking today, please hit that thumbs up button. And like always, if you're interested in whether we fail, succeed, or whichever, and you want to continue along our epic journey of indoor hydroponic gardening, please hit that subscribe button. But from this point on, guys, we're going to let the plants do the deal, and we're going to see where it takes us. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers, y'all.